March Madness is obviously upon us, so now we are going to go over my personal list of the top 10 players in the tournament. So we start with number 10. It's a trio, unfortunately. Wichita State is 34-0. They are the first undefeated team to go into the tournament, undefeated obviously, since the 1991 University of Nevada, Las Vegas Runnin' Rebels. So the trio is the trio of Wichita State. Cleanthony Early, 6'8", about 220 pounds. That's a lot of man. Ron Baker, who is a stout defender and solid spot-up shooter and also wears a sleeve. And Fred VanVleet, the pass-first point guard, who has really dished out some great passes throughout this undefeated run that basically Wichita State has gone on. So I like that trio at number 10. Number 9, point guard Xavier Thames out of San Diego State. He is a senior. He's probably going to be picked in the first round. If he doesn't, that would be horrific, and it'd be bad. It'd be worse than like a Danny Garcia bad judging decision this past weekend. So Xavier Thames, 17 points per game, a senior. He was honored, obviously, on senior night. He is going to be a fantastic player. 6'3", 195 pounds. 8 games this year. He has gone over 20-plus points, 70-plus wins at San Diego State overall. At number 8 is the Victor Oladipo-like developmental play from Adreian Payne, the Michigan State big man, who is listed, I believe, at about 6'10", has developed from a guy who not only overcame a learning disability off the court and could barely even read in the 9th grade, and now he's going to be absolutely an NBA first-round draft pick, but also he's not just a rebounder and a bruiser down low. He's a spot-up shooter from the three-point line and could also hit the mid-range J. Granted, it takes a little time to develop. Adreian Payne, for good reason, on this list. Number 7 is Aaron Gordon. Now, I'm not going to spend a ton of time on Aaron Gordon, but here's what I will say. He's an NBA lottery pick as well. He is probably going to go in the top 5, if not the top 3. He is on Arizona, the number 1, not overall seed, but a 1 seed in the tournament this year. He's still incredibly raw, but a great defensive player, and is going to show he is going to show you potential in March Madness that will probably transfer over to the NBA level. At number 6, another freshman. Julius Randle, another big body, a bruiser. Yes, he is the motor. He is the engine of the University of Kentucky's run to possibly go to a Final Four, though I do not believe that they will. I believe that they will be upset, not even upset. I believe they will lose to the trio of Wichita State. But Julius Randle is probably going to be a top 3 pick, but he has shown so much. The offense goes through him. He can handle the ball at times. He's gone coast to coast at times in this okay, not great year for Kentucky. A lot of their offense, by the way, goes through the Harrison twins, but Julius Randle is really the engine that drives Kentucky. At number 5 is Andrew Wiggins, another guy that is going to go in the top 5 of the draft. This is the moment that we want to see Andrew Wiggins come through and show the potential that he has shown in being the number 1 recruit this past year. He's going to be a one and done. He put up fine performances against West Virginia. He really showed a ton more when they faced Kansas State, when they were at Kansas State and lost. Totally fine. Give them a pass and whatnot, especially when they lost to Texas and whatever. Joel Embiid is out. Everything has to run through him and Perry Ellis, mainly Andrew Wiggins. He's going to show you a lot in this tournament. Number 4, another freshman, Jabari Parker. Top 3 pick overall. I know that I'm saying that about a lot of guys. The problem is we can't say who those teams are going to pick because we don't know the order and we don't know what their needs are at those certain positions. Who knew Anthony Bennett would go number 1 overall? Though that looks terrible. So Jabari Parker, Chicago boy, true to my heart, has shown a ton this year. Look, they have Rodney Hood, they have Hawkins and whatnot. Yeah, you know what? Those are fine performers. If they did not have Julius Randle, they would not be a 3 seed. They probably would have been as high as a 5 or a 6. Who knows how this would have panned out? He shoots the ball well. From 3, he's pretty good. Field goal percentage, 48%, 19 points per game, 9 rebounds per game, 27 points against Kansas, 23 against UCLA, 30 against rival North Carolina. At number 3 is Marcus Smart. These are guys who, granted, you call them engine guys because they really drive each team. But Marcus Smart, it just shows. When Oklahoma State lost him, they really suffered. Now that they have him back, they're on a bit of a winning streak. They're certainly winning a lot more games, and they showed a lot in the Big 12 tournament. Marcus Smart is a playmaker. Every team needs one. Oklahoma State has one. Digger Phelps has them going to the national championship game. I wouldn't say that, but they certainly are on upset alert to possibly pull the upset in the second round / third round of the tournament. Number 2 is Louisville's Russ Smith. The ridiculously underrated Louisville Cardinal are a number 4 seed in the Midwest region. They might possibly have to face Wichita State. Russ Smith is a shooter, flat out scorer. He could score from anywhere. So can Luke Hancock. But let's just be real about this. Russ Smith can flat out score in any which way possible. He can score off the dribble. He can score Rip Hamilton-like coming off screens. Anywhere on the court, look out for Russ Smith. Number 1, no surprise, Doug McDermott. 3,105 career points for Dougie Buckets McBuckets. Doug McDermott can also score, but he can also put the ball on the floor. He could score in space. He could score in stride. He could score off screens. He could score off the dribble. He can score running the break. He could score every which way. A 3 seed in the West region is Creighton. They look good. Can they ride the hot hand of Doug McDermott? I believe they certainly can. He meditates, I believe, before each game. He eats rotisserie chicken. Good for him. Anything that works. But Doug McDermott, obviously, to no surprise, the number 1 player in this year's tournament. Who was left off the list? Who was most deserving? Thoughts, comments section below. And also do me a favor, subscribe to TYT Sports.